family. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Living Your Life Without Limits. I'm Shannon Jackson, the People's Nurse, and today I will be talking with the CEO, Mahryah Shain of More Hair Naturally. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Wake up, everybody. Let's elevate your mind. Live your life without limits. No more wasting time.
Once again, thank you so much, Mahryah, for being my special guest on Living Your Life Without Limits today. I'm excited to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And I'm also very excited to be able to have this opportunity to hang out with you for a few minutes.
Well, I'm telling you, you're talking my language when you're talking about hair.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to say, first of all, thank you for sending the wonderful samples, which we're getting ready to go into about your products.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, what made you go into this business? What was the inspiration behind developing a hair care line?
Okay. Yeah, it happened organically, I should say.
Okay.
And I kind of like how it happened because it's kind of how, you know, how life just throws opportunities in your path and you can choose to take a path or not take a path. And this was a path we chose to take, and it's opened up this whole world for us. And it was kind of random how it happened. So growing up, my whole family's has had the philosophy that our bodies are meant to survive. We've been alive for millions of years. We've lived in harmony with nature for millions of years, and everything that we need has sustained us for millions of years. And so we've always believed that if there's something was wrong, there was something out there that could help us fix it, that would help our bodies fix it on their own, I should say. Like if you're sick, you should find a way to boost your immune system so your immune system can fix the sickness. If there's there's all kinds of things out there. That was always our philosophy. So now when it came to hair, every man in my family is bald. Just period. I am grateful to have what I have. But every male in my family is bald. And so when my father started losing his hair, it was like probably the early 90s, I'd say. He started losing his hair, and there was nothing out there. He was like, well, what do I do? And the only things that were out there were the same drug products that are available today, the minoxidils and the finasterides, which were the same products that were released to the market in 1970. So, but that was all really that there was. There were some home things like rub an onion on your head, dump rice water on your head.
I've heard that.
Things like that, and now that I know what I know, there's a tiny smidgen of validity in those. Like the onion has sulfur content, which is really actually amazing for your body and for your hair, but you're never going to get what you need by putting an onion on your head. So my dad started going down the drug route. He started taking all the drugs, which was weird because that's not really how we would do things in our family. And he started getting sick. He lost all of his energy. He started having body pains. He actually started growing breasts because it started messing with his hormones. And so we're like, no, this has got to stop. Now, my mother's Italian, and we have family in the Lake Como region of Italy. And she was telling them about what was going on. And they said that there's this little lab that was doing some very interesting studies in natural approaches to thinning hair and hair loss. And so we're like, oh, we'll get some of their stuff and send it to us. And so they did. They went and got some of it and sent it to us. And my father started using it, and it started working.
Really?
And so we became their North American distributors, basically, is what happened. So that was our entrance into the field of hair loss. So we got grooved in, and we were very excited because we had this all natural product that was doing pretty good, But as we started getting over the initial excitement and getting it out there and seeing people change and how it was working, we kind of were realizing it wasn't working good enough. It was working. It was better than any other natural remedy out there, but it wasn't making the hair come back strong enough or thick enough or fast enough. But it was reducing shedding, which was a positive, and it was producing some results. So we're like, okay, well, like, there's got to be something working. Science didn't go to sleep in 1970 when minoxidil was released to the market. You know, that no one stopped researching hair loss, but why are all the products that are available those same old products? So we started researching medical journals just from across the world, trying to figure out what's producing results in laboratory studies, natural results. What natural products are producing results in laboratory studies in the field of hair loss. And we started finding incredible things happening, like in the field of stem cells, probiotics, amino acids, peptide complexes. All these things were in laboratory studies, were producing these incredible results, and they're all natural. There's no side effects, there's no drugs, there's no anything. And so we're like, well, why aren't these in products? And then we're like, well, why don't we just put them in products? And then we said, why don't we take all of them and see if we can put them all in one product? And so we're in California. We found a local lab here in California that specializes in this kind of thing. And we're like, we want to take all these ingredients, put them in one product, but they have to be at the clinical strength that's producing the results in lab studies, because we need the product to be incredible. We don't need to have something that has a nice ingredients list. We need something that's incredible. And so they started working on it, and it took a couple of years, and they did it. They made it. And that was really our entrance into the hair loss field.
Wonderful. Thank you for that background story.
Yeah.
So it is something how it was a problem, and you sought for an individual solution for your dad and ended up making a business model out of it. I love it.
Exactly.
Now, you hear a lot of people talking about using stem cells in products, and there's others that are promoting stem cells in products. There's hundreds and thousands of products on the market. But what makes your product unique that it really does produce results as it relates to, like you said, all these natural products combined into one item? What makes it unique? What makes it different? Why you versus someone else who's selling stem cells, right?
Yeah, totally. No, totally. So we're actually the first company to introduce the topical application of stem cells for thinning hair. And since then, other companies have come and gone, and they'll be like, you know, we have this stem cell, we have this stem cell, we have this stem cell. But and every time they pop up, we're always like, oh, what are they doing? You know, but it's usually they use one type of stem cell, and there's not enough to address any real issue. And that stem cell that they're using generally isn't a targeted stem cell. It's not a stem cell, because all of our products have at least 3 specific stem cells, and those 3 stem cells that are chosen for that product have we only put them in there because in laboratory studies, they were creating the effects that we needed. You know, so it's not just we're having stem cells because that happens to be a buzzword now.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
Like we have these particular stem cells in each product because they are doing exactly what we need that product to do.
Okay.
And
I love that.
And they're all at this clinical strength to get the results as well. That's why we've lasted so long. That's why we're here. We're growing. We're releasing new products. Where the other companies, they kind of come and go because they're focusing on the buzzword, but they're not focusing on the results.
And you're more results oriented, which I love. So let's dive in a couple of the products so you can tell us about them, and then explain how will we be able to gain natural, healthy hair. Like I'm using wigs now. I used to have, when I was a young girl, beautiful, long, healthy hair. I mean, beautifully long, healthy hair. And through perms or pressing or just natural thinning through age or stress, my hair has thinned. And like many other people and other things, medication can cause hair to be thinning. And then sometimes it can create such a self-consciousness
Yeah.
about hair. And what I find is that hair can actually change a whole look tremendously.
Mhm.
And don't get it wrong, I love my wigs, but I would also love to have healthy, strong hair
Yeah.
underneath my wig, whether I want to wear a wig or not,
Mhm.
that my hair itself is healthy and strong. So
Right.
I think a lot of people will relate to that. And even though it started just with your father,
Mhm.
it's, I'm sure you have all kind of clients that use the hair, right?
Oh,
Use the
yeah.
products. I mean, the products, all
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
clients that use the
But
product.
on that though, what you're, because you're opening up a very important conversation, I think, in that.
Mhm.
And I think it's almost more important than getting into the actual ins and outs of the product, which I would love to get to. But I
Yes.
think what you're touching on is the idea of self-perception
Yes.
a little bit. And it's funny because sometimes that the concept of wanting to look good, the concept of vanity, the concept of like having that notion of like you're fixing your hair, you're fixing your clothes, it can get a bad perception. But I think that's 100% false. I think you should never be a jerk. I think it gets a bad perception because people tie in vanity with being a jerk, you know,
Mhm.
and that's just not the case. Like, don't be a jerk, okay?
Mhm.
But you should feel good about how you look, and it's
Exactly.
okay to enjoy how you look. And in fact, I believe it's essential. And the reason why I say that is because your physical is going to affect your mental. Period.
Absolutely.
You put on you put on a beautiful dress, you put on that nice suit, you're like, oh yeah, it's on. I'm gonna tackle the world today, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's just
Especially, especially when people are sick, coming
Mhm.
from that healthcare background. I
Yeah.
remember even from a personal note, when my grandmother would be really, really sick
Mhm.
and have periods, she would be in the bed. She'd have her hair all made up. She'd have her nails
Yeah.
done. She'd have her makeup done. And it just boosted her spirit and her energy
Yeah.
by looking good. So
Mhm.
you're absolutely correct. It can directly correlate with how you your mood, your
Yeah.
attitude, and hair plays an important part of that.
It
Whether you want
does.
to be playful that day or sexy or bold or just having fun with yourself or just feeling good and having a lot of self-love, a
Yeah.
lot of that stems around hair,
It
whether
does.
you want it short or whether you want it long or however you want it
Yeah.
to be. So hair plays an important role in self-esteem and self-love. And some women equate to that thinning of hair as sickness or
Mhm.
it has a lot of effects, especially if people are on chemo and things
Yeah.
like that. It has even a deeper psychological effect
Yeah.
because it's my hair I used to be this and it's showing my demise or my
Right.
slow transitioning over. So it can have so many things. But what you're doing, which we're talking about, is bringing a solution to the market
Solution.
that
Yes.
will help people, whether you want your hair to be healthy and confident, but just take care of it. Maybe it's not necessarily about growth, but maintenance
Yeah,
also,
it's a
right?
big deal. It's a big deal. And here's the secret though. If your hair is bothering you and you take you find a product you think is going to work or a solution that is going to work, and you start taking actions by like implementing that solution and applying that solution and doing that solution every day, those actions alone are going to give you the confidence that you're looking for. They're going to give you that boost in the self-esteem, even if you haven't achieved those incredible results that you're looking for yet. Those actions alone are going to make you feel amazing. It's like going to the gym. Like, I'll go to the gym, I'll work out for an hour, I'll leave with my little flabby tummy, but I'll walk out sure feeling like, oh yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
I nailed it
You-
today. Huh?
I'll look exactly the same as I looked an hour ago, but I'll feel like, oh, I am ripped. I can kind of tell, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's
you
a
have that.
mindset. It's a mindset
Yeah, because
change.
you're taking actions, you're doing the right things. And because you're doing the right things, it's almost like you already achieved the result because you're doing those right things.
Absolutely. So let's run through a little bit of these products
Yeah,
that you have here.
totally.
And I started using two of them. I haven't done the one with the hair wash because I had just washed my hair when I
Okay,
received
great.
it. So tell us a little bit about this one here.
Okay, that's the More Hair Naturally 9. Now,
Mhm.
let me explain the mechanics of hair loss, and then I can explain what that does. Because
Okay.
it's very specific, its actions are very specific.
Okay.
So there's many reasons that people lose their hair. There's many. There's, extreme styling, there's diet, there's health, there's medications, there's illness, there's stress, huge one, stress. There's
Mhm.
environmental toxins.
Mhm.
But the overall, like the big overall arcing reason people lose their hair is genetics.
Mhm.
That's 95% of the people lose their hair because of genetics. Now, genetics is scary when you say it because it has this inevitability attached to it. It has this no hope. It is what it is, period. But let me explain the genetics of it, and then you can see that there actually is some hope. So
Mhm.
the way the genetics work is this: when your body breaks down the male hormone testosterone, it creates a byproduct called DHT.
Mhm.
Now, this is just excreted through your body. It's not a big deal. However, when it passes by your hair follicle, it gets stuck in this little pothole on the follicle. Pothole's not scientific, but it's a good visual. Now, these potholes are the inherited trait of hair loss. Some people inherit a bunch of potholes, some people inherit very few. Now, when the DHT passes by the hair follicle, it gets stuck in these potholes. And as more and more gets stuck over the years, it begins to cut the blood flow off to the follicle. And the follicle starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then thinner and thinner and thinner, and eventually dies. So when someone says hair loss is inherited, what's inherited are these potholes. So if say you have very few potholes, but you produce a lot of testosterone, you'll probably have thinning hair. But you could have a lot of these potholes that you inherited and produce very little testosterone, and you won't see hair loss till very late in life because it's going to take that much longer for that DHT to latch into those potholes and cut the blood flow off, which is why women generally won't see hair loss till later in life because it takes that long because they don't produce a lot of testosterone. So it takes that long for them to get clogged.
Okay.
So now our goal with the More Hair Naturally 9
Mhm.
is it's a couple things, but the main thing we want to do with that is we want to get the DHT off the follicle so the blood can start flowing back to the follicle on its own. That's our goal. So and the reason is we get the blood flowing back to the follicle, it starts delivering the nutrients that the follicle needs. And then at the same time, we start bombarding that follicle with stem cells, probiotics, amino acids. So we're rebuilding the follicle with the blood coming back to it and with all the nutrients on top of it. So we're putting the follicle in position to heal itself and regenerate and start creating strong, healthy hair again.
Great. So now with this is once a day, right?
Yeah, it's once a day. And it's
Okay.
water-based, it's spray, it's very easy to apply.
And very light. It feels very light onto the skin. You know what I
We
mean?
did
It
that
doesn't
in,
have an odor, which I liked. It
we
didn't
did
have
that
like this
both.
really bad odor or anything with it. So I've started using this.
Great.
Started using this. Okay, here's the next one. Talk to us about this one.
Okay, that's the hair and scalp synergy. That's
Okay.
most customers say green label, purple label when they're calling it into order. The
Okay.
green label, purple label, like we know what you're
Uh,
talking.
okay.
So with the hair and scalp synergy, so when we were researching the More Hair Naturally 9, the first one,
Mhm.
we found in our research that we learned, I should say, we didn't find this
Yeah.
amazing fact. We learned that as the hair follicle gets weaker and weaker, the growth cycle starts to get shorter and shorter,
Mhm.
which is why a lot of people, when their hair starts to get thin, it can't grow long. And that's because the growth cycle has gotten too short. So the follicle doesn't have a healthy chance to grow. So we're like, well, we got to solve that. Like, because we're completely revitalizing the follicle. We can't have the short growth cycle. We got to be able to give it like a nice growth cycle so it actually has time to grow. So that product does two things. One is it addresses the component parts of the hair shaft and the follicle to help elongate the growth cycle. So that with the green bottle, the Mahryah Shain 9, we're rebuilding, and with the purple one, we're basically sparking it back to life. We're saying, okay, now.
So you need both together.
Well, if somebody is experiencing they've been experiencing hair loss for like over 5-10 years, we suggest using both together.
Okay.
Or if it's extensive hair loss, we suggest using both together. If it's not extensive, if it's just mild, like an increase in shedding, something like that, we do suggest just using the Mahryah Shain 9, the green one. But the other thing the purple does is that when the hair starts to thin, any kind of non-optimum scalp condition can impede healthy growth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of probiotics in the hair and scalp synergy, the purple one, whose intention is to rebalance the microbiome of the scalp. It's a good one for anyone wearing wigs. By the way,
I love that. I love, because when I was looking at this and reading what you had on this, I thought this is more for prevention and maintenance. Like this one is getting you back going, and this one's saying we kind of stop you from stop the cycle from happening. So you kind of do, if you, in my case, would want both of them.
Yeah, you'd want to use both. And we're discovering more and more about the products as they're released. You know what I mean? Like we know they're good, but we keep learning like new things. And especially with that hair and scalp synergy, because it's rebalancing the scalp, it's helping a lot of people with like itchiness, dryness, flakiness, tightness. There's all kinds of weird, like people like, I've had this scalp condition for 4 years, and then within a month it's starting to get better.
Absolutely. And the final pieces is the shampoo and conditioner set.
Yes. Shampoo.
How often do you recommend people to use this?
Our shampoo and conditioner are incredibly mild and gentle and nourishing. So if you shower every day, use it. If you don't shower every day, it's really personal preference. Some people, I shouldn't say shower. Why? I should wash your hair.
Wash your hair, yeah.
Wash your hair.
Well, but there's some people that don't shower every day. They don't see anything wrong with it.
So
in the hot, it can kick up, but
just as long as there's onions on your head.
It can kick up in this heat, but other than that, it's definitely if you don't wash your hair every day. And a lot of times, some people, they have to wash their hair every day because the hair sweats and the thing and the oils, but others may not necessarily. So it is personal preference, you're saying.
Personal preference, because the shampoo, there's no shampoo and conditioner that's going to help you with hair loss.
Right.
Period. Anything that's going to help you with hair loss has to absorb into the scalp. Right. Shampoo and conditioners are great for volume. They're great for just cleaning the scalp. They're great for like general scalp health. They're great for hair fullness and thickness. They can help on all those levels, but they're not going to help with hair loss. But the shampoo conditioner, it's very important what you choose. You have to pick shampoos and conditioners that don't have harsh ingredients. They don't have chemicals. They don't have foaming agents or detergents. You want sulfate free. You want paraben free. If you can, you want to get something that's organic or natural. And the reason that is most shampoos you see at the supermarket are full of junk you don't want on your body. Because a lot of shampoos that get super soapy and foamy, that's just detergent. That has no benefit other than the perception of my hair's getting clean because I have bubbles. That's all it does. And in fact, it completely dries out your scalp and damages your hair. But in doing that, what happens is your body senses that the scalp is dry, so it starts to produce excess oil to compensate, because you're supposed to have a certain amount of oil on your skin and all over your skin, And so when it senses that it doesn't have that, it starts to produce excess to compensate for it. So what happens is all of a sudden your hair gets really oily. So you think, oh, I need more shampoo because my hair is too oily. So you shampoo it again with the detergents, dries it out. Your body starts producing more oil to compensate for the ultra dryness of the scalp, and it becomes this vicious cycle. So what someone needs to do is just, have oily hair for 2 weeks. Just suck it up and get like a natural or organic shampoo or our shampoos, and switch to those shampoos. Let your hair be oily for 2 weeks, and then it'll balance out, and your hair will have a nice shine and sheen, and it'll look great again. But you got to go through that hump of letting it rebalance and reacclimate.
Okay. So if someone, as we're getting closer to the end, if someone wanted to purchase all 4 of these, you just explained to us that the shampoo and the conditioner are not necessarily required,
Right.
although it would work great with this, but they could get other products if they wanted to, just to avoid those things that are very stringent and hard and sulfurs on the skin. But what does this go for someone to purchase if I want to just deep dive in and grab the whole thing? What does it run?
So for that what we just talked about, 1 Mahryah Shain, 1 hair and scalp symphony shampoo conditioner, that's called the Starter Kit Plus, that program. Okay. And if you go to morehairnaturally.com, it's on our website, and it's $310.
$310. Okay.
But not with the special discount code.
Living your life without limits.
12. Living your life without limits, 12. So, and then you can get a nice little discount on it.
So you heard it, family.
Yeah.
He is giving the Living Your Life Without Limits fans a special discount of 12%. All you have to do is use the LYLWL12 code when you order online.
It's 818-303-9038. But just go to the website. I have the phone number on the top and the bottom of every page. Okay. And the reason it's there, it's very important, actually. We actually love it when you call. I have a whole team here that are trained in hair loss. And their whole purpose is to talk to people about their hair and to answer any questions they might have concerning their particular situation. And what they'll do is they'll talk to you. They'll answer all your concerns. They'll talk to you about hair loss. They'll talk to you about your history, your diet, where you're living, maybe it's environmental. They'll work to track down the root cause of your thinning with you and then help you find solutions. And you don't have to buy anything, but we want people to win. We want people to succeed in accomplishing their goals. So if you call, and we will, if we think we can help you, we will offer you products. We'll offer you products. But you don't have to buy them, but we will offer them.
Now, what's your success rate of people that's been buying now? What is it? Do you know any percentages or statistics on there? What do you have? What would you say? Tell us that. And then I'm going to announce a special thing that we're going to do.
Yeah, it's about like an 85. We have a very high success rate. We haven't run official clinical studies. This is just based on client information and stuff, and
feedback and so forth.
It's about an 85% success rate.
That is huge.
But it won't work for you if your hair is shiny, bald. If you are shiny and bald, it means the follicles are dead, and nothing can bring back a dead follicle. And a lot of times, even if if you've been losing hair for like 10, 15 years, you're going to have dead follicles on your scalp. So it's never going to come back to 100% because of those dead follicles. We can get you back. We can do a pretty good job, but I don't want people to have like it's not a miracle. It's not miracle.
And I appreciate you not putting something out that you're saying we know this is not going to work for our products. So I love that you're being very honest, because that's what we want to do, is be honest with the viewers. Absolutely. And each case is going to be on a case-by-case basis. I will put that in there as a disclaimer, because the products are simply wonderful. And I've started, your girl, the People's Nurse, has started using it this week, and I am looking forward to sharing the results. But it is also going to be on a case-by-case basis, because sometimes with anything, if you're going through certain medications and different things like that, it can impede results of any form, be it hair products or any other products that you're using, can have an effect on the body as a whole. So I want people to understand, but to have an 85%, I bet on that. Without a doubt. So this is high success turning. And because of that, Living Your Life Without Limits is going to be gifting someone this complete set as a gift. Now, how do you enter? By a drawing. If you are interested in getting a value of $300 and was it $10 or $9?
Yeah.
$310 gift set in value price. Living Your Life Without Limits will be running a special promotion where we're going to be gifting those that are interested. And if you're interested, we're going to be entering you into a drawing. We're going to run this drawing for about 3 weeks. And all you need to do is email info@livingyourlifewithoutlimits.com and enter your name and be entered into the drawing. That is info@livingyourlifewithoutlimits.com. And if you want to start your hair journey success and maybe not necessarily have that $310, we're going to help you with that because that's what we do. We give here at Living Your Life Without Limits. So info@livingyourlifewithoutlimits.com. We will run that for 3 weeks. And at the end of 3 weeks, we will have a wheel drawing on our virtual wheel, and the winner will be gifted a free gift set from More Hair Naturally on behalf of Living Your Life Without Limits to start you in your hair journey. So once again, I want to thank you, Mahryah, for not only coming on to Living Your Life Without Limits with such an amazing product with amazing results of 85%, but your passion towards what you're doing. And I love that. I love when people do something that they enjoy doing. So I appreciate you, as well as gifting our audience a 12% discount. Again, family, if you want to purchase your products and not wait till 3 weeks for that raffle to see if you're going to be a winner, all you need to do is simply go onto the website of More Hair Naturally. And we're going to put that onto this website underneath and then put in the LYLWL plus 12 code number 12 at your discount checkout, and you will get that 12% discount. And I want you, as I'm ending my final here, we're talking about hair today, but it's all part about being self-love and being confident, because hair can play a role in that. But it's all about you. Remember, our motto here is motivation, elevation, and inspiration. And if you feel that hair and having full hair helps you feel confident and you want to get away from always having to wear a wig like Miss Shannon do, the people's nurse, or a ball cap, or feel when you walk outside, you feel low self-esteem, then $310 is worth it for you. As a matter of fact, through here, it won't even be $310. It'll be a little cheaper. But I want you to embrace you and love you for you. And if you're one that can rock a bald head and do it well, then you do that as also, because it's about you feeling good about you. And I want you to take from this, wherever your life is a problem, there is a solution. I love how they started this company. His dad had a problem with hair loss. He wanted something different. He tried everything. And then it went all the way from another country, way somewhere else, a solution. And there they built a business. You could be the next entrepreneur in your own solution for something that's going on in your life or the life of your loved ones. I dare you to stretch out and find a solution. It may not only just help you, but it could be something that can help people all across the country or even the world. So as I end today, family, remember to love yourself. Take care of yourself, because guess what? You are absolutely worth it. And don't forget to check us out on our social media channels, our Instagram, or anywhere where podcast is listened audio, because we continue to want to bring you fresh, innovative information that's going to cause you to live your life without limits. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.